Huge thank you to all of you for coming out to giving your ideas, your priorities on how the city should spend your money. Because after all, when you go through a budget process and you're saying how we're going to spend money, we're really prioritizing what's important to us as communities. And this was made possible because of our Mayor, Eric Garcetti. So thank you, Mayor, for coming out with the Pueblo, with the people to make this possible. And let me tell you, this is very, very important because as we go forward and we prioritize and we budget and the mayor puts out his budget and the council deliberates it and votes upon it, we are setting a reflection of what we want to see in our communities. Now, one of the things I've been most concerned about as I look forward, and I know that any one crime is one crime too many. The good news is, around Boyle Heights and throughout the city, other parts of my district, we know that we haven't seen these low crime levels that we haven't seen in a very long time. So that's good news. We've heard some comments tonight about public safety, and we need to continue in that direction to improve public safety. But a few years ago, public safety was probably the biggest thing because we had a lot more gangs running in that park. I wouldn't visit parks myself. Now I feel a lot more comfortable going to parks. Things have changed in terms of public safety. But the one thing I'm concerned about is when we see the state taking away our enterprise zones, where businesses are not, where we invest in low-income areas and give them incentives to do that. The state is cutting that back. When the state got rid of our community redevelopment agency, and it was neighborhoods like ours that got impacted the most. What I'm concerned about right now in moving forward and working with the budget is to see how we continue to incentivize that economic development activity in low-income neighborhoods like ours. That, to me, is one of the things I'm concerned about because the state is taking away a lot of that. But one of the things I do like as we move forward is when I hear the mayor talk about back to basics. We in the east side, and Councilmember Cedil's office, and I'm glad he's now in council because he brings a lot of knowledge from the state. One of the things, the east side has some of the oldest infrastructure. So when you talk about back to basics, we here on the east side perhaps benefit the most because we are in great need of improving some very old infrastructure that we have. And the good news is that despite the tremendous budget situation that we've been in the last few years, we have been trying to do the most with what we can. But when it comes to everyday things, it's about those basic things that we see every day. And it's about making sure that our sidewalks are fixed, that our streets are running smoothly, that we have our trees trimmed, those basic things that make our community feel safe and comfortable. Once those things continue to move forward and public safety is taken care of and our business community is doing well, I think we will continue to move on a trajectory to a better quality of life. So thank you for being here tonight. I think this is a great thing to do and it's not the last one. At the end of the day, as we formulate this budget, you need to make sure that as we're implementing that budget, that we actually do. Because things like having unclean bathrooms in our parks, sometimes the money's there. It's just a matter of making sure we move that money and put it to work, right? I've seen that when I was on the school board, when I was on the Board of Education, when we said we didn't have money for this, we didn't have money for that. It's just a matter of moving that money and putting it to use. So sometimes the money's there, but when you guys ask us to focus on something community that puts more pressure on our elected officials and works with us to get things done. You know, here in Boyle Heights, for example, when I first got elected, the child care center at Evergreen Park, it was just sitting there, but we hadn't moved it or pushed it. The money was there. It was just a matter of the community saying, hey, we need to get that done, and we got it done. So thank you for coming out. I think this is very important, but let's make sure that even after we give our input, we see the implementation of it. Thank you so much again. Thank you.